What's up, dudes? Hello, hello, hello. So, Fisticuffer saying that I'm in love with the pink guitar. That might be true. Hey, I'm confident in my, masculinity, whatever. I don't know how to say it. I have no trouble admitting that I really like a pink guitar. It looks cool. I've always thought pink guitars look cool. And that particular guitar, that one, wow. That guitar is awesome. Love it. So, yeah, hopefully you guys saw the video on Monday when I reviewed this guitar and played it. And anyway, let me just say hello to everybody in there. I know we got a ton of people already. Ubi, Fisticuffer, Marlon, 6-String Stinger, Time Surfing Alien, Dwight, Wasted Dude, Mitch, Michael, BT Cheppy, Wasted Dude. I already said that. DJ, Michael, Robert, The Tooth, Mr. JW, Chris. Who am I missing? New York Chokehold. Michael, I think I already said you. Searching for Tone. Did I say Dwight? I think I did like 3 times already. So, hello to everybody. If I missed your name, sorry. I'm just trying to go through them and read them all. So yeah, really nice guitar. Wow, very impressed. And if you watch the video, I mean, you've been watching my channel, so you guys know that's the first Eart that I've ever reviewed. Is it Eart? Is it Eart? Is it Eart? Is it supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? I don't know. Who cares? How do they come up with these names? I don't know. But anyway, who cares? It is an awesome guitar. How many of you guys have an Eart guitar? Or have you ever had an Eart guitar? If you ever played one? I mean, I never had a chance to play one because, I mean, I don't think you're going to find one of these in a store unless it's there like as a used guitar. They don't go to the NAMM show. So it's not like they had a booth at the NAMM show that I could go up and try one. But I've had so many people tell me that these are like, wow, these are really good. And if you've watched the reviews, you know, all the reviews say, yeah, they're really good. So I was expecting it to be good, but maybe not quite that good. And I was a little afraid, like in the video, guys, that like I don't want to lay it on too thick, you know, because when you do a review video of a guitar or any product and you're like, wow, this is amazing, it's so great, you know, people think you're not being sincere. Like, oh, you're a shill, you're just a paid endorser, or, you know, how can we believe you? But I actually had to dial my enthusiasm down a little bit. And if you guys watch enough of my videos, you know I'm not that enthusiastic in every video. So if I'm like, if you can really see the enthusiasm and I played it really well in the jam, it's like, yeah, that really is a good guitar. And I would never yank your guys' chain as far as something being really good or not good anyway. So yeah, it's great, man. And hopefully I get a chance to check out another Eart guitar. I think they were happy with the video, so I would imagine at some point they'll want to send me another one and ask me to do another video, so that will be cool. When that'll be, I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, yeah, and you know, it's funny because this is not a new model. It's been out for quite some time, like at least a couple of years. And I do pay attention. You know, I've seen when their guitars have been released. Guitar Max has done a bunch of videos on their guitars, so I'm very aware. And when that model came out, of course, it like, you know, the angels sang to me like, wow, that's the one that I would want to get because it's a Dinky, 2 humbuckers, 24 frets. It's like a Charvel, basically. It's like a Charvel. So that's the one I always wanted. And out of the colors that are available, the pink one was the one I always thought looked the coolest out of those particular 4 colors. Yeah, when they contacted me, again, luckily, that was the one they wanted me to review, that model. And then they let me choose the color. So I said, okay, I'll send me the pink one. I want the pink one. So it all worked out really well. Yeah, I mean, there's some debate about like, if you're getting paid for a review or if they sent you the guitar for free, can you truly be honest? Can you truly be unbiased? you know, I think I can for the most part. But again, there, you know, it's like if they're giving it to you for free, there's a little part inside where you go, well, I don't want to make a video like trashing this, but I do usually make it a point to like point out something that, you know, it's not quite exactly how I would want it, or I think that could be better. And in fact, you're gonna hear me say a couple of things like that when I do the Jet guitar video next week. And even though they sent me the Jet guitar for free, there's just a couple, not major things, minor things that I'm going to say, you might want to do this and you might want to do this, like on the next batch of production runs on it. So yeah, I always try to point those things out. And if the company's like halfway decent, they'll listen and they'll make those changes, you know, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Well, there you go, Ubi. You're not going to take free stuff and you're just going to say whatever you want. That's good. I can totally understand that point of view. One thing to think about though, guys, is that if you really think about like my channel and you look at my videos, I have pretty much every week, just about every week, a new guitar that I'm showing you guys, like literally once a week, sometimes twice a week. And if I was buying all those guitars with my own money, I'd go broke. Yeah, I couldn't afford to buy all the stuff that I review. It just wouldn't be feasible, you know. So I could do it that way, but I'd be doing a lot less videos, put it that way. But anyway, yeah, always do my best, guys, to say it how it is. Mitch, you have to sell 5 guitars to buy the ERT? Why 5? Is it just like, that's just a number, you want to sell 5, or are you like, I need to sell 5 to get enough money to pay for the ERT? Because I think you could sell less than 5 to come up with the price on that. It's under 400, maybe. Dave, yeah, you understand, 6-string Stinger. It can get rather expensive if you're just constantly buying gear. Definitely. And that's not to say that I don't ever buy the guitars, because obviously I do. You know, some of them I get for free and some of them I pay for. Like the Squier debut series, you know, I got the Strat, I got the bass, I got the Telecaster. I had to buy all 3 of those, of course. Fender is not sending me any free guitars. Not yet, and probably not ever. By the way, did you guys notice this one hanging back there? Anybody notice this guitar? What's that little thing right there? Is that a medieval torture device? Nope, that is a vintage style tremolo, like a Bigsby. Probably can't read what it says on the headstock, but it says Heartwood. So that video will be out tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow. If you want to see what the Bald Shredder can do with a Bigsby trem for the very first time in my life ever, I never even played one before, tune in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Tooth, you're asking about this guitar? I made that guitar. I made it, I painted it. I assembled it, I should say. That is modeled after a Charvel that George Lynch had in the 80s. And it was, the graphic was called the Sub Camo, or Submarine Camo. And it was very similar to that. So if you look back in my videos far enough, you'll find a video on it. Oh, I got you, Mitch. You want to whittle it down to 5 guitars. I totally understand. I have guitars coming out of my ears. I have so many, it's ridiculous. I've sold a few over the past couple of weeks, like locally. And for those of you guys that are like curious, I think in June, starting in June, I'm going to start getting a bunch of stuff up in my eBay store. A bunch of guitars for sale in June. Might be something you're interested, might not be, but start taking a look in June probably. It just takes time because I have to take pictures, I have to measure the box, I have to weigh the box, I have to go in and type, you know, have to put the listing up, and I will have more free time in June. I will not be selling the Pink Eart guitar, so don't look for that one. Dana, the green guitar, that is Heartwood. Remember, guys, I did a Heartwood guitar, I think last month? The green one, the one that I said looked like it was out of the Jetsons. Well, this is another Heartwood. Is this one better than that one or worse than that one? It's one of those. Tune in tomorrow to find out. And I will say it in the video if it's better or worse than the first one. Fisticuffer, gonna try to make a YouTube video. Yes. When you do, make sure you tell me so I can check it out. Time Surfing Alien, I'm not gonna play that stand-up bass. It's like back behind my guitars in the corner. Just to get it out of that spot, it's not that easy. And it's huge, and I have to try not to hit the ceiling with it. And I played it in the video. You can go back and watch the video. But no, I'm not going to play that. Yeah, you guys might not be able to see that like super clearly. But tomorrow in the video, you'll get a clear view of it. Let me just say one thing about it. It has great upper fret access. That's 24 frets, guys. Wait, is it 24 frets? Yeah, 24 frets, and that 24th fret is right there. So you easily get all the way up to the 24th fret. A vintage style guitar that has 24 frets. Kind of cool. No, I'm not going to play the stand-up bass. And I agree, Mitch. We don't need 1,000 guitars. I certainly don't. But doing the YouTube channel, that is what's made me accumulate so many guitars. If I wasn't doing YouTube videos, guys, I'd probably have 10 or less. And then somebody's going to say, how many guitars do you have? Somewhere between 30 and 100. I couldn't even tell you the number because it changes all the time. Another one just arrived today on my porch. There it was. Another Firefly, guys. I'll be doing another Firefly video in a couple of weeks. The Jet video will be next Monday. I haven't made the video yet. I'll probably make the video on Sunday, and then it'll be there for you guys to watch on Monday. Only thing I'm going to tell you about the Jet is that, like the Eart, it's awesome. Yep. Marlon, you got the IYV IS400. I already forgot which one that is. What's the IS400? You know, IYV just has these like random letters and numbers, and it's like, I forget. IS400. Is that the one that's like sort of like a Dinky? Or is that the like the Acoustasonic one? Cannot remember. Yeah, as far as the number one, not number one, what was I going to say? As far as how many guitars do you need, it's always one more. So it's like, how many guitars do you need? Well, just one more. But it's always just one more, right? Even though I have like a million, I always want another one and another one and another one. It's ridiculous. I need help. I need to seek help immediately, or not. Dana Smith, did I ever review my new IYV? Which one? The last one I reviewed was that silver sparkle, sort of like heavy metal shaped one that had the Floyd Rose on it. The one that I got at the NAMM show. Yes, I reviewed it. And in the same video, I played the pink stand-up bass. So that's from, I don't know, like a month or so ago. If you look for it back in my videos, you'll see it. And right now, IYV is in the process of building my next custom guitar. So I haven't seen any pictures of it, but I placed the order. They showed me the blueprint. And now I'm just waiting for them to make it and finish it and send it to me. Somebody said, James said, is that the Jet? No, guys, you can't see the Jet guitar. The Jet guitar is in the other room. So if you're looking at something and you think that's the Jet, nope. The Jet is in another room. There's no way you can see it. James, are the pickups any good in what? In the Jet? You'll find out on Monday when I do the video. Marlon, okay. I think you're referring, I think the IS400, that would be like the very first IYV that I reviewed. Had like a flame maple top. Like a light color flame maple top, right? With like the Eart with the 2-point trim. I still have that one too. I might sell that one though eventually. I might put it up on eBay in June. We'll see. Rod, I agree. There are definitely worse things to spend money on. Oh, Mitch, good to hear. I'm glad you're going to keep that telly. What was that? That was the Boya and Ziki that I sent to you. Yeah. Time surfing alien. Does your wife know that you're referring to her as the warden? I hope not. You'll be in the doghouse if she does. Yes, James, I like Chinese food. No ridiculous offers of the week, guys. Yeah, I didn't get any like crazy emails. I did get an email from a company, and I don't know if it's going to happen yet because we've just barely exchanged like one email, and they said they can make a custom guitar with a skin. You know those skins? Have you seen them? Like they put it on top of the guitar. It's like a graphic. They print it out. I think it's like vinyl or something. And then they put it on top. And it looks like a paint job, but it's not paint. It's like a vinyl cover. And they said they could make me a custom guitar using one of those. So that might happen. We'll see. Like I said, just very in the early stages of talking to them. Oh my gosh, Clutch. You had to pay 125% tariff on your Chinese buffet. I hope it was all you can eat so you got your money's worth. New Mexico Saint. Hello, hello. Terry. Yes, it's a wrap. Exactly. It's like a vinyl wrap, but they call it a skin or whatever. Paul asking about Metal Dude. I have a feeling that Metal Dude might make an appearance in the Jet video next week. So if you're jonesing for your Metal Dude fix, I think is going to be at the beginning of the Jet video next week. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Okay, so I talked about the Eart guitar like crazy. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a replay of the Eart jam that was in the Monday video. Turned out really well. I really like it. It will definitely be on my next album, whenever that is. I have no set date for that yet. Not until I sell all my current CDs. By the way, guys, these are still available in my eBay store. And if you haven't gotten your set yet, I encourage you to do so. All right, guys, here's the Eart Jam from Monday. All right, guys, there it was. What did you think? Hopefully you liked that one. So I'm going to talk about what I did on the rhythm part, like at the very beginning and the very end. You might hear the guitar echoing, like dun da 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 na na dun da 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 na na. So that's just using a digital delay. And the way I had to do it, guys, is I didn't want the whole thing to echo. Like I didn't want it to go dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da da. I just wanted the last chord, the dun da da da, that last strike of the chord to echo. So little little studio magic here. I recorded the main rhythm without any delay, just like my normal rhythm sound. So without the delay, it would have just sounded like dun da da dun, dun da da dun, dun da da dun. So that's on there. And you guys heard that. That's actually on there. Then on a separate track, I had to do this on a separate track. I put the delay on there and I set the timing on the delay to match the tempo of the song. And I just hit the last chord, like dun da da dun, because I just wanted that last chord to go dun 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 dun. And that's how I got the delay to do the dun 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 dun. Had to do it on a separate track. So little studio magic, just a pulling back the curtain a little bit so you guys can understand how I did that. Also, just, you know, I saw a couple of you guys saying like, yeah, you don't need a $3,000 guitar to sound good. You absolutely don't. You know, hopefully you guys agree that that tune and the guitar tones and everything sounded really good. That's a $386 guitar. And my sound system, whatever, it's Line 6 Pod Farm software that I bought like 15 or 16 years ago for $100. That's it. I'm not using a $5,000 amp. I don't have some big fancy effects pedal. It was literally $100 for that software and the little tiny interface that I'm still using all these years later. And, you know, that's it. So, anyway. And yes, I do agree that the fingers have a lot to do with it. Just as an example, like every time Guitar Max has come over and he's been here and we record video, you know, him playing guitar, me playing guitar. And when he's here playing guitar, he's plugged into my system. So he's plugged in, he's using the same exact setting that I'm using. The same one you guys just heard. I don't put it on like a special Guitar Max setting. And the funny thing is, as soon as he starts playing, guess what he sounds like? He sounds like Max. Because everything affects the sound. Like, how hard are you pushing on the strings? You know, are you pulling the strings? How are you moving your hand when you change chords? How are you striking the strings? What kind of pick? Is it like a thinner pick or a thicker pick? And all those things affect how it ends up sounding and the tone. You know, you could have like 10 different guys playing the same guitar, the same amp, whatever, and you're gonna hear differences because we all play differently. So anyway, just a little food for thought there, guys. Does ERT make left-handed guitars? I can't remember if they do, Raging Skull. Did they have guitars for lefties? I thought maybe they did, at least some, but I'm not totally sure though. Of course, Mr. JW. Of course, you're gonna get like, you know, a certain sound coming out of like an amp, depending on how you set it. But, you know, I guess what I'm saying is like, if I didn't show the picture and I said, okay, here's a clip, it's either me or Max, I think you're gonna know instantly like who it is, right? Based on what it sounds like and the type of licks and stuff, you know, that would be very easy to tell. Or me and Lester, you know, you'd know, it's just a certain sound that everybody gets. Okay, guys, now I'm going to show you something. Now, I don't want to see too much laughing in the comments, all right? And after I show this to you, I expect to get some super thanks, okay? I expect to get some super thanks. You don't have to, but I talked before over the last few live streams or so about talking about how I used to have like puffy curly hair when I was a kid. And I keep saying I was going to show you guys a picture of that. Well, today's the day. I'm going to show you a picture. All right. Again, I will tolerate a little bit of, see, New Mexico Saint, he's already laughing. He's already laughing. Maybe he's laughing at something else, but we'll see here. Okay, you guys ready? You sitting down? Don't fall out of your chair. This was me in the 6th grade. So I was probably 11 years old at the time. Here we go. Look at that beautiful, gorgeous head of hair. No, I don't have naturally curly hair. That was a perm, guys. I had a perm, indeed. I still remember that shirt. That shirt said Mean Machine on it. That was one of my favorite shirts. Obviously, that's why I wore it on picture day. Man, can you imagine if I still had that hair? If I still had that hair, I'd probably be the #1 YouTuber. I'd be bigger than Rick Beato. Right? Mr. Rick Beato with his perfect head of hair. Anyway, that was me in 6th grade. And after that, it was all downhill. Yep. Tommy Bradford from 8 is Enough. Indeed. Willie Ames. That would not have been the 70s. That would have been the early 80s, guys. Early 80s. All right, you've seen enough of that. Where did it go? Where did it go? Man. Darn universe getting me, taking my hair away. I should get a perm wig. I do have a perm wig, but it's like black. It's not that color. I've worn it in a lot of the videos. Yes, that was a perm. Yes, it was. I don't have naturally curly hair. A young Gary Richrath. Well, Gary's hair was probably a little longer than that. I love Gary Richrath, by the way. Very underrated guitar player. I think, you know what? I have a ton of other pictures of me as a kid at different ages, you know, different hairstyles and stuff. I think I'm going to do a video and I'm going to call it like Hair Evolution. And it's going to start from like when I was really young and then just, you know, like fade into the next picture and then the next picture. And you see me with different hair, longer hair, shorter hair. And then finally at the very end, no hair. Tooth, you had a Mean Machine shirt too? Awesome. Well, yeah, they aren't permanent, Mr. JW. They don't last forever, but it's not like you get a perm and then you take a shower and it instantly is gone. It lasts for quite a while. Seabass! There we go. See, I showed you guys that picture, and Seabass is the only one that kicked into the super chat. Thank you, Seabass. Did you see the picture, Seabass, or did you just get here? Because if you didn't see the picture, I'll throw it up again really quick for you. Did I have a tail at any point? Mr. Tooth? No, I'm not a monkey. Never had a tail. You talking about my hair or like an actual tail? Pretty sure I didn't have a tail. Ubi, if I could take your hair and stick it on my head and it would like root itself into my head and, you know, grow, and I would absolutely say, send me some hair. You know, it's just not fair. Some guys, you know, guys my age or older than me and still have like this massive full head of hair. Not fair. But good for you, Ubi. Lucky son of a gun. You caught it, Seabass? You saw the picture? Okay, good. No, I never had a rat tail, and I never really had a mullet. Well, I mean, you'll see the pictures eventually. You know, like 80s style hair, like this, and then halfway down to my ears, and then like about to here in the back. Not a mullet like Billy Ray Cyrus mullet. RJ's Cave. Oh, RJ, you missed the picture. You missed the picture of me with my shaggy curly hair. Let's see. Speaking of pictures, here's another picture. It's not me. It's your favorite bald shredder sidekick other than Metal Dude, Buddy. Look, there's Buddy about an hour and a half ago. Taking a nap because he's exhausted from a long, hard day of doing nothing. Yeah, he's just exhausted. And what else was I going to show you guys? Oh, I need to do the member shout out. Do I have that? Where's my list? New members this week. Okay, guys, the new members shout out since last week. Here we go.
Bald Shredder member shout outs. Yay!
And RJ's Cave, I'm glad you're here because you're in the list. So, joining or rejoining since last time, we have Eric and RJ's Cave, Shredder level 1. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. And if anybody wants to join up today, well, that would be awesome. There will be a members-only live stream on Sunday at 4 o'clock. And guys, probably Saturday morning, I think I'm going to try to record it Friday night. I will be uploading the next members-only guitar lesson video. So look for that on the weekend. Mitch saying I'm not a furry person. What does that mean, Mitch? Furry? What's a furry person? All right, RJ's Cave. I'm going to show you the picture since you came in late. You ready? There it is, RJ. You getting a good look at that? Look at what a handsome devil I was, right? 11 years old. Man, the world was my oyster at that time. And then it eventually turned to this. Well, we can't win them all, can we? No, Seabass, it won't be a barbecue lesson. We talked about that in the last members live stream. Oh, by the way, speaking of barbecues, for those of you guys that don't know, I just got a barbecue last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. The first time in my entire life that I ever had a propane barbecue. So I finally got one, and the first thing I cooked was hot dogs and then and corn on the cob. It turned out well. And then I did salmon on it and asparagus on the weekend. It turned out good. It was kind of messy though. And then yesterday I cooked hamburgers on it. And I want to say it was not great. You know, it was just it wasn't anything extraordinary. It just tasted like hamburgers. But anyway, next I need to try chicken. Like chicken breast, maybe on the weekend. A cross between Nigel and Metal Dude. Yeah, I guess you were right there, RJ's Cave. But a young version. Good night, Ubi. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. 6-string Stanger. A young Bob Ross? Seriously? Really, dude? Okay, I'll take it. Young Bob Ross. I don't have a paintbrush, though. Tooth has become a member, and not just a member, but Shredder level 3, the top level, Super Shredder level 3. Thank you, Mr. Tooth. I appreciate that. Yep, Mr. JW, propane and propane accessories, just like Hank Hill says. New York Chokehold. Charcoal is king. I had a charcoal barbecue before, like a really cheap one, a long time ago. Now I'm trying propane. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get it like down pat. Every time I cook something like the hamburgers, I look on Google, how to cook hamburgers on a propane grill. You know, and I see like, what does the temperature need to be? How many minutes? I ended up having to cook it a lot longer than what I saw on Google. Because like that hamburger was like still raw. Anyway. Clutch. Yeah, I didn't put any seasoning on the hamburgers this time, but next time I will. I'll put some seasoning and kind of mash it in. You know, one thing that I did see online, it said in the middle of the hamburger patty, push down like a thumbprint, and that'll keep the hamburger from like shrinking up into like a hockey puck, like sometimes happens on the barbecue. Okay, enough barbecue talk. Furry people dress up as animals. Well, Mitch, that's not me. I'm not one of them. Shark steak. I don't even know where I would buy shark steak, Gary. And I think I'd be too afraid to try to cook that. A pellet smoker. I'm barely in the beginning stages of learning how to use my propane grill. So pellet smoker would be a long way off. Propane is the best for smoking. Okay. Robert, doing a little teaching here. I just learned something. Propane is a liquid, but it's released as a gas. Now you know. Now I know. And knowing's half the battle. Mitch. Well, Mitch, you didn't get me an audition with James Gunn so that I could be in the new Superman movie as Lex Luthor. Not Luger. Not the wrestler. Lex Luthor. The arch nemesis of Superman. I could totally play that part. I could act that part. You guys know I can act. I could have been an Oscar-worthy actor. I should have been in show business. Darn it. Scott, that story about the high schools putting litter boxes in the ladies' room, I'm pretty sure that is not true if you look it up. That was a story that got circulated, but I don't think that was anything that actually happened, as far as I know. But what do I know? I wasn't there. But when I read about that, that was one of those things that said the story spread, it went viral, but it turned out to not be true. So who knows? RJ's Cave said, oh, Russell, beer is a liquid and also released as a gas. There you go. Franklin smoker. I don't even know what that is. Okay, everybody in here is a propane expert now. All this is information. I don't know. Oh, if I still had hair, I could pull off Lex Luger. Have you seen what Lex Luger looks like now? He does not like, he's shrunk way down. He's not the big like muscly guy that he was when he was a wrestler. Yes, I drink coffee every day. I love it. Hey, picking and flipping. What's up, dude? Long time no see. I hope you're doing good. Have you been doing any picking and flipping recently? Good to see you. Yeah, you know what? I've only been to the movie theater one time in several years, and that was a couple of weeks ago to take my son to the Minecraft movie. Other than that, I am perfectly happy to watch movies in the comfort of my own living room on my big screen TV with nobody bothering me and having my own snacks that I don't have to take out a loan for, and being able to pause the movie and go to the bathroom, right? Yeah, that's a much better experience. Joe, Luger can barely walk now. Wow, I didn't know that. You can't watch movies anymore? I watch stuff on Netflix. I have Netflix. That's the only service that I have. I used to have Disney Plus, but I canceled it because there's like never anything new on there. But I watch stuff on. I love Netflix. Always something new every week. A new show, new movies. You know, sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're just okay. But something to keep me entertained. Make a movie and I would be Axe Luthor. Maybe I should help Metal Dude to make a Metal Dude movie. You know, kind of like Wayne's World, something like that. Wouldn't that be funny? I used to love going to the movies when I was younger. I loved it. I would go like every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, like what's the new movie coming out this weekend? And I would go. But that kind of changed like once I had little kids at home, like babies at home to take care of, and that's when everything just kind of like I couldn't go to the movies, and I'm not taking an infant to the movies with me. So I haven't heard of Go Movies. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Andor is back on Disney Plus. So my strategy with Disney Plus is I'm only going to subscribe to it 1 month a year rather than like the whole year. And I'll probably subscribe to it like in August or something, 1 month. I'll watch all the like Star Wars and Marvel stuff. I could easily watch it all in 1 month. Then I'll cancel it. Wait till the following August. Again, subscribe. Watch all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff. So 1 month a year for Disney Plus to watch that stuff. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, by the way. Oh, picking and flipping. Doing the van life. Okay. I didn't know that. So are you like traveling around the country? Sorry, I'm going kind of back in the comments because I was talking and I missed some of the comments. All right, guys, I'm going to try to pay close attention to the comments here because we're in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, you hate when parents bring their crying babies to the movies. Exactly. There's no way I was going to bring like a baby to a movie. Even when you take like a 3-year-old or something, that can go drastically wrong. It is not fun. Been there, done that. Time surfing alien in a van down by the river. Yeah. Yep. Motivational speaker. What was his name? Matt something. Chris Farley, of course. One of his most classic characters. In a van down by the river. And then he falls on the table. Heading to Alaska. Wow. Okay, very cool. Which trilogy? RJ's Cave. Are you kidding me? It's original. Of course it's original. That's the stuff I grew up on, right? I was a kid when those movies came out. I had all my little Star Wars action figures. I didn't keep them in the package at that time. They came out of the package. They got played with. My Millennium Falcon, all that stuff. Original trilogy. Of course I enjoyed all the movies, but nothing holds a candle to the original trilogy. Seabass, you're gonna watch Black Sabbath by, oh, okay, cool. New Mexico Saint cries at movies. Okay. Matt Foley, yeah, that's right. Mike, you got the Fesley LP kit. Cool. I hope it turns out good. Good night, New Mexico Saint. Don't forget, members live stream Sunday, 4 o'clock. Oh my gosh, Rod. Are you joking, Rod? Because I'm about to ban you from my channel right now. Never seen any of the Star Wars movies? How big is the rock that you've been living under? You've got to be kidding me. Are you joking, Rod? Because if you're not joking, you need to watch those original 3 movies, at least. If nothing else, you got to watch the original 3. How can you have never seen those original 3 Star Wars movies? Rod, are you living like... Well, obviously you have electricity because you're watching YouTube. Yeah, Boba Fett. Gotta love Boba Fett. Mellow Dude claps when the airplane lands. He probably would be, but I don't know if he's ever been on an airplane. I don't think he can afford a ticket. Spaceballs! Rod, you have an assignment, and it's due by next Wednesday. At least watch the first movie. The very first one, the one that came out in 1977. Come on! Clutch. Black Mirror Season 7. Yep, very cool. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, guys. Fesley, Tooth got a Fesley. All right, cool. Hand shoots first. He sure does. Hey, Cucumber. You're coming in right at the end. You're catching me in like the last 30 seconds. Dana Smith, what are you talking about? A guy tried to murder you over... Huh? What? I won't even try to unpack that one. Mike, I agree. The Strat kit. The body is routed for single, single, single. Why would they do that? It should be routed for humbucker, single, humbucker. Because you're going to put a pick guard anyway. And if you want three singles, you could still do that. Fisticuffer, I also have the complete set of the Star Wars movies VHS in letterbox edition. The original movies, before they started changing everything around. I still have it. The Jet video's on Monday. Monday, as I already said. All right, guys, it is 8:01, so I'm doing my countdown. Here we go. Gotta go. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, California time, Pacific time, the Heartwood guitar with the Bigsby-style trim. Next Monday, the Jet video. You've been waiting for it. It's coming. Monday, 9 a.m. All right, guys, doing the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. See you guys later. Thanks, everyone.